Unit! What's rocking, everybody? I was supposed to put up a vid earlier. Well, not supposed to. I wanted to put up a vid earlier, and it just didn't come to fruition. I said, you know what? We'll hit them up tomorrow. It's all good, right? We'll hit them up tomorrow. And then I said, well, wait a second. I'm going to have a half an hour to about an hour later. What if we do a live stream? What if we do it for members only, man? So that's what we're doing on 20 minutes of notice for my members. Now, I know a lot of members are going to catch this later and be like, what the fuck? 20 minutes of notice. I got Ashley Steggles up in the chat. This was hilarious. I sit down about 2 minutes ago. Ashley Steggles is flipping out in the chat. Where is everybody? I'm like, Ashley, I gave 16 minutes of notice, man. Relax. People will filter in, or they'll just catch this afterwards. You know how the deal is, man. Ashley Steggles is like my manager. Where is all the unit members? Why is there only 4 people here as of 4 minutes ago? Ashley Steggles, man. Much love and respect. That actually, that popped BC, man. That was I sit down and I see fucking Ashley Steggles. I'm like, where is everybody? I'm like, Ashley, does he know that I just fucking put that up a few minutes ago? Oh, man. Too funny. You see everybody now, Ashley? See how it works? Robert Hurt up in here. D. Carre, Eric Leno, Tay Drew's up in here. Osea Weidman, Ashley Steggles. You should know how this works, man. Not everybody's going to show up during the pre-show. Too funny, man. I had to laugh at that. There's mass chaos in the chat. Is nobody showing up? You guys are the best. Guys, I'm gonna start off with the biggest fucking story. I'm gonna get to the main story. Get the fucking hoodie, huh? There you go. The biggest story we're gonna start off with, and you'll know what I mean in a second. My big story is for Kana Asuka. That's gonna come in just a little bit, but the biggest story is a big return coming to AEW, man. A superstar that was there got injured and is coming back. And guys, this is going to move the needle like you would not believe. This is going to be one of the biggest superstars that AEW has seen return since injury in a very long time. And it is The Big Show! That's right. The Big Show has announced he's coming back from injury soon, man. It's just a matter of time. The Big Show is going to grace your AEW television. Are you not excited? Oh, Jimmy Figures, I had to, bro. Jimmy Figures 19, I had to, man. That's the story that just broke about an hour ago. The Big Show is coming back to AEW television to fuck some people up. Well, that worked perfectly in fucking WWE. Let's see how it works now. Big Show is coming back. We're going to get to Kana Asuka in a little bit. This is members only, guys. For my red team, anybody who's not a member, relax, man. This is just once in a while. I like to give a gift over to my members, my gold team, my gold card members for showing that love and respect to the channel. I like to give them a special chat, and it helps me see all my gold up in here so we could shoot the shit on a different level up in the chat. So this is for the gold team, but my entire red team, much love and respect, still smash that fucking up. And let's rock out, man. This shouldn't take too long. Half an hour tops, I'm guessing. But there's a few things I want to talk about. And again, Kana Asuka and Triple H. And he better do the right thing, man. This is WWE's time to step the fuck up and do right by Asuka. And I truly feel, as much as I give him a lot of shit, Paul Levesque would go straight Asuka, straight Kana, if it's up to him. If it's up to Vincent Kennedy McMahon, he's going to go straight Raquel Rodriguez. And I'm telling you right now, we're going to find out a lot in 9 nights. Next Saturday, we're going to find out who's seriously in charge, Vince McMahon or Triple H. Trust me on that shit. Real quick, ratings have just come in for AEW Dynamite. I just got word that AEW Dynamite has pulled 899,000 viewers. So well below the million. In fact, they did not clinch 900,000 this week on a heavily promoted show called Fight Night of Champions, Champions Fight Night, Clash of Champions. I don't know, whatever the fuck it was called. They fucking promoted it big. They had a bunch of they had MJF out there with Take a Shitta. They had Bryan Danielson taking on Roosh in a good fucking match, I hear. Acclaimed in a just a boneheaded decision defeats the Acclaimed for the tag titles. That doesn't even make any sense, but somebody will try to make sense of it, and somebody probably has a whole storyline drawn out. And I know Acclaimed is saying, we'll get our titles back, but now we know where daddy ass stands. And I don't even know what they're fucking doing, man. The Gun Club defeats. You can't make that up. And then fucking Jamie Hayter is in a match with Bunny, not the bad Bunny, the pretty Bunny in AEW. And that was a botched finish. Bunny looked like she cracked her dome piece hard on the mat. She tells the ref, let's go home. Ref is like, yeah, that's what we're doing. Jamie Hayter delivers her clothesline or whatever, and then the match is over. So that was a botched finish as well. And what else happened? Yeah, I don't know what this night did nothing for. There was no reason for BC to watch this because just nothing on the card excited me. There was no storyline that jumps off the screen for BC, and I just had a feeling that this was going to be a show that does not hit 950. I knew it wasn't going to hit 1 million. It doesn't matter if you put a coat of paint on it, and that's what they did with the whatever it was called, Fight Night of Champions or whatever it was called, Champion Fight Night. I don't even know, but they put a coat of paint on it like they always do. They call it a special type of a Wednesday night event, and that was not going to help this get to 1 million. So I looked at the card and I'm just like, well, I don't know what they're trying to do with this. What is Tony Khan deliberately trying to sabotage his own product and get viewers not to watch? Because that is a show. I literally said this in the fucking stream. This is not a show that's going to collect 950. It's just not. And you know, AEW Dynamite. Oh, basically, I love you, man, but you're wrong, man. This is gonna be for their niche audience. Well, okay, their niche, as we know, is 850 to 950, right? So Fight Night of Champions galore, or whatever the fuck you want to call this, with all the matches, they decked out a whole card of Wednesday night matches. You get match after match after match after match after match. And you're telling me that you should at least hit the top of your niche, right? You're going to at least be at 950, the top of your niche. You're not going to pull in any casuals with that type of a show. You guys know that. But you're going to at least pull in the top part of your niche. You didn't even do that, man. You're going backwards. You're now in the 800. Last week, you beat 900 by 1,000. It was 900, 1,000 viewers. If you were 1,000 less, you would have been in the 800s, I told you guys. Well, what did they do this week? They didn't get the extra 1,000. They lost another 1,000, which is 2 combined, and now they're at 899. So they almost stayed consistent when last week, but they dropped a couple of thousand viewers. So even though it's just a couple thousand, you're still either staying stagnant and even going backwards on your own niche audience. How much farther backwards do you go? 875, 860? Now you're at the beginning part of your niche. AEW is starting to lose their niche audience, is what I'm telling you guys. Unless it's a special themed type of a show, like for the Briscoes recently, or a couple others you can think of, that they're going to eclipse maybe 1 million and then catapult backwards another 100 to 150,000 immediately 7 days later. Guys, this type of a card, I told you, is not going to appease the masses, and it's not even going to appease the bulk of their fucking niche, or at least the top part of their niche, I should say. And it didn't. I mean, you can disagree all you want, but the facts are right in the paperwork, man. The facts are right there for everybody to see, right? Trends are a real thing. Trends, metrics, statistics, numbers. This is how we can tell the future. This shouldn't be a shock to a lot of people. BC told you exactly what this show was going to pull. It was hard pressed to pull 950. I didn't know if they were going to go into the 800s like they did. That's really bad. But it was the top part of the 800s at least, right? 899. They almost pulled 900. Now we got to move the goalposts more. And now we're just trying to get 900,000 every week. Storylines, man. There's nothing on that show. The biggest thing last night that's being talked about I'm telling you, I gauged everything. The biggest thing is MJF's promo that was actually backstage. It was just a 2-minute promo. And it was controversial as fuck. And people are saying it was too low because of what just happened to Jay Briscoe a few weeks ago. And MJF should not have used that type of scenario for his promo. Talking about being younger in high school and whipping out his blue Camaro and speeding around. And one night he picks up his date. He just called her Liv. A lot of people thought he was talking about Liv Morgan. We know there's a little connection with them. There's a friendship with them. I don't know their complete history, but a lot of people think he was talking about Liv Morgan. And he picks up Liv Morgan and not Morgan. People think it was Morgan. He just calls her Liv. Picked her up and she started to do some extracurricular activity, if you know what I mean. He actually used the sign for that during the promo. So she's doing her business as he's speeding down the road. It's raining cats and dogs, he says, and he goes off the road. Instead of pressing the brake, which he tried to do, he smashed on the accelerator and wham, wrapped himself around a telephone pole. He says, thankfully, well, first he says he woke up, but hands bloody. He's got a concussion. He looks over. This girl Liv is basically lifeless, but next to him. But like he puts his finger under her nose, and at least she's breathing. But he says he hears the sirens, so he takes Liv's lifeless body and puts it into the driver's seat, and he switches spots because he didn't want to get in trouble. He says, yeah, that's right. It's in those type of adversity situations where you find out exactly who you are. Yeah, I'm a scumbag and proud of it, is what he says. So a lot of people were flipping out. It's in poor taste. It's in bad taste. That should have never happened. This close to Jay Briscoe, they said. Now, as far as BC, I say everything is fair game in a storyline as long as you keep it... as long as you keep it to the story and everybody is good with it, right? As long as everybody's okay with it. In this case, it would be Tony, it would be MJF, and maybe another individual or two. It's not even Mark Briscoe. He has no business in this. This has nothing to do with Jay. And the Briscoes are my boys. Those are my boys. A heavy heart of what happened to Jay Briscoe. Saddened to this day and beyond, most of us, of what happened to Jay. Fucking sucks. Those are my boys. They've always been my boys. Dem boys were BC's boys. But this has nothing to do with the Jay. It's not in bad taste at all. It's a storyline. One is absolutely real life, a tragic situation. The other is an absolute storyline that was nothing like what happened to Jay Briscoe. Going off the road while you're getting your fucking you-know-what, how you doing, while she's performing that activity on you, and you go off the road and you hit a telephone post. She was fine after that. She was still fucking breathing, just knocked out like he was, and he switched spots. That had nothing to do with Jay. It's a storyline. It's to tell you that he is that scumbag, and he will cross no fucking lengths in order to retain that championship over Bryan Danielson. He won't even let Bryan Danielson get the chance at it, the shot at it. So you can think how you want. I know a lot of you guys might not have liked it, thought it was in poor taste, thought it was one of those promos that's just it's forced. It's too much of an easy thing. Yeah, you go wild like that. If you go that controversial, you're going to ooh and ah people. It's too easy. It's low-hanging fruit. For me, I think this fits MJF perfectly. Came out of left field. Was it wild? Yeah. Was it bizarre as fuck? Yeah. Was it controversial? You bet. Are we still thinking about it and talking about it? You bet. Because MJF delivered it pretty fucking flawlessly. Now, some people are bashing it. They're saying there's holes in the story. The line delivery sucked. It did feel forced. It's low-hanging fruit. It's too much of an easy, controversial type of promo where you got to tell more storyline as it pertains to Bryan Danielson and not just character development. There's a lot of fucking ifs, ands, and buts about this promo. I didn't have any problem with it. It was absolutely one of those controversial ones that we're going to be talking about. A lot of people are kind of putting it in the same category as Katie Vick. I don't know if you guys remember the whole Katie Vick shit with Triple H and Kane and that accident that happened. But that was the biggest highlight of the night, a 2-minute segment backstage. Other than that, the Acclaimed loses their title to the Gun Club, and Bryan Danielson has another good match with Roosh. Okay. I mean, how many great matches are you going to see with Bryan Danielson before you start saying, all right, now we need to see the storyline kick in, man? Like, what's the story with him and MJF? There is none. He's got to beat a different crony every week just to get to the match. The biggest ooh-ah moment is MJF talking about his character development being a scumbag. Has nothing to do with Bryan Danielson. This is not a storyline. And Tony Khan is lacking in storylines. So if today you are wondering why that card only pulled in 899,000 viewers, it didn't even hit 900,000 this week. Wonder no more. Stop living underneath a rock. If you're an AEW diehard tried and true, admit you need more stories in your company. Tony Khan needs stories. He has to, because then people like BC can start watching again. I saw that card and I had zero reason to tune in last night. Zero. I saw that card and I'm like, Bryan Danielson versus Roosh. We'll get 15 or 16 minutes of a good match. We'll see the Gun Club probably take fucking tag titles from the Acclaim, knowing Tony Khan. And that's exactly what happened. We saw Jamie Hayter versus Bad Bunny. There was no way that could go off good, and it didn't with the botched finish. I don't know what people were expecting. Man, you can go to the local bingo hall and watch 10 matches in a row. Every one of them will be really good. I don't have to sit down on a Wednesday night for 2 hours and not have any stories being told to me. The only story was MJF's character development scumbag story. 2 minutes backstage about himself. Where is the fucking stories? Fuck, man. If you mix that in with your great matches, we can all enjoy AEW Dynamite. If you're only going to meet your niche audience, eventually that's going to go backwards. And what are we seeing, guys? The past several weeks, it's going backwards. And now they're back into the 800,000s. And this was a themed Wednesday night show. A night of champions. Champion fight night. And a themed show couldn't even pull 900,000. I'm not the bad guy because I'm delivering the facts. I'm trying to help the situation. I'm trying to tell the owner, hey, if you add in a lot more storytelling and you allow people to get invested and the matches matter and they mean something and it's not just wrestler A versus wrestler B so we can get another great match with cool sequences and we can start chanting shit, then we're all going to get along much better with AEW. Fuck, it took 5 years of having this channel, 6 years of having this channel to finally get WWE to start thinking, oh wait, DC was right the whole time. And now WWE is finally putting storylines first. Storylines! What a crazy concept. I can't believe that people are okay watching 2 hours of and then people go, well, basically that's the difference between sports entertainment and professional wrestling. WWE is sports entertainment. And AEW is professional wrestling. And they say it like they're better than us. Like they're better than BC and others. And I'm like, are you a fool? It's all the same thing. Pro wrestling is sports entertainment. Sports entertainment is pro wrestling. You have larger than life characters and storylines we give a shit about. And it culminates with a big match and big moments. Unfortunately, AEW is just giving us the matches. Match after match after match after match after match until you're in the brick wall cemented in that shit. And Tony Khan just admitted why. Tony Khan just admitted when we were asked about his streaming service. Tony Khan said, yeah, we're trying to get the library. We're trying to put as many matches as possible on the air, on YouTube, on a .com, anywhere, so that we can build a library that we can eventually stream. He just wants the library. He wants as many matches as imaginable. He doesn't have fucking time to sit there and deliver fucking awesome storylines. He just wants to produce match. Eddie Kingston went off. Some people think he's just in character. I think he's always in character, but the problem is he's himself 24/7 too. So you're getting him in character 24/7, but you're always getting the authentic Eddie Kingston. And he went off on Tony Khan in AEW. He flipped out. He's like, how many more segments do you want to give MJF? He gave him 3 within an hour and a half on a 2-hour show. He goes, fuck everybody else. Fuck Ortiz. Fuck the House of Black. Fuck Eddie Kingston. Fuck us all. Let's just fucking have the same people over and over again. He says, I don't give a shit. Came in alone. We'll leave alone. Eddie Kingston just flipped out on Tony Khan. Flipped out. And you guys are right if you say he's in character. You're also right if you say it was 100% shoot, because that's Eddie Kingston. He has no filter, and Tony Khan has no control over the inmates. He just doesn't. He has no control over Chris or fucking CM Punk. He's got no control over the elite. He's got no control over Eddie Kingston. He just doesn't. The inmates are running the asylum, and that comes down to a respect factor, is what that is. So AEW pulls 899,000. I'm not fucking surprised. This was a show that did not interest me at all, to the point where I didn't even lift a finger to smash the TBS channel. And when I found out everything that happened and I watched the clips that I needed to, I was even more fucking dumbfounded. 899,000 viewers. They went backwards. And they're supposedly going into a big pay-per-view in a few weeks. Great stuff. SmackDown, on the other hand, I can't believe this. SmackDown's ratings. Hold on. First of all, Gold Team, what's up, everybody? We're about to hit 100 on the ups, by the way. That's not just the Gold Team. Not my Gold Card member. That's also my Red Team, man. Anybody who's not a Gold member, still, much love and respect. I thank you for tuning in, and don't forget to smash that up. Let's take that to 100 plus. Gold Team, Sir Charles, Pile Drivers up in here. Renee, Robert Hurt. Of course, JR9 Gaming. We got Eric Leno, as I said. Alicia is up in here. Alicia, what up? Jack Brewer. A. Merrick's up in here as well. Ash Steggles, you see that? RELAX. Relax, man. People come in, right? You give them 16 to 21 minutes notice. Takes a little bit. People will come in. If not, they'll catch it later. Ash Steggles, I told you, the unit shows up. You should know that by now. Ash Steggles was freaking out earlier. Who else is up in here? Ash Steggles was the first one up in here. He was like, what the hell happened? Oh, my D-Car. Hey, what up? Tay Drew. Ty Drew. Damonte, right? Let me pop a coffee, and I'm going to show you guys SmackDown. You ready for this? You ain't going to believe. I have not seen this in a long time, guys. What happened on SmackDown, I just got the actual quarterly, and I am telling you, man, I have not seen this in a while. Let me give a proper salute to my amp unit, if you don't mind. Let me pop a coffee. Salute. Hey, 20 minutes of notice to my Gold Team that's rocking out right now, to my Red Team that's also watching BC. This is just a special treat for my members, but to my whole Red Team as well. Salute to everybody up in here right now. Check you. Check you now. Don't worry, I ain't leaving right yet. But I'm checking you guys right now, man. Salute. All right, so check this guy. You ready for this? Carlos, what up, brother? That's okay, man. That's all right. We'll be rocking another half an hour. Put in the earbuds or something, Carlos. Good to see you up in here, dude. Hopefully you guys can see this, because this is Q1 to Q8, and what happened between Q1 and Q8, those two segs, you do not see this often, guys. Pro wrestling shows, unfortunately, they don't keep you intrigued for the whole duration of the show. So by the end of the show, you've dropped considerably. Look at this SmackDown Q1 to Q8 fucking diagram. Look at that shit, guys. Q1, you start at a 2.385 mil. And by the end of the show, you were at a 2.588. Guys, you went up 200,000 plus. 200,000 viewers by the end of the show, because that's how intrigued the audience is to see the Bloodline and Sami Zayn storyline. What did I just teach you guys about storylines and lack thereof in AEW and why they're going backwards? You look at SmackDown, and they didn't just keep the audience from Q1 because they needed to see the storyline with Bloodline and Zayn. They went up at the end of the show. That never happens. Very rarely. And when it does, it's not over 200,000 viewers, guys. I am absolutely astonished by that. SmackDown is beating the shit out of the wrestling world. There's nothing like SmackDown right now, and I've never seen a thing like that. You look at Q1 to Q2. So you have your 2.3 to start the show. This is in terms of million, guys, 2.3. Then you go up from the 2.3 start of the show. You then go up to 2.39. So you go up, what is that, 5,000? It's still up. Then you dropped approximately 43,000 in Q3. Then you went way back up, 66,000 in Q4. You dropped, what is that, 15, maybe 28,000 viewers into Q5. Then you dropped big time for that tag team match with the Viking Raiders, 2282. Then you went up 3,000 in Q7 to 2285. And then everybody came back in Q8 for the Bloodline and Sami Zayn. And that is when everybody needed to see what happened with Zayn and Roman, to the point where you ended the show over 200,000 viewers more than when you started the show. That doesn't happen. JR9 Gaming, exactly, proving that matches should not be the focus. Your audience can only take so many fucking choreographed, rehearsed, pre-planned matches. Wrestling is more than that. It's about the characters, the storylines, and us being invested in everything they do and everything they're about to do. This tells you that SmackDown is doing it correctly. Whereas when you look at an AEW quarterly sheet, guys, it is a fucking roller coaster. And by the end of the night, you're fucking more down than when you began. You got the Big Bang Theory at the start of the show as a nice lead-in, and then you're fucking dropped considerably by the tens of thousands by the time it's over. It's not good. That's what we're trying to preach to Tony Khan. Tony won't want to listen. And then the diehard niches go, well, we're fine. You have your sports entertainment, and we're going to have our matches that are awesome. I'm not going to say the fucking B word anymore. Fuck that word. I can't stand that word. You have your awesome match after awesome match after awesome match after awesome match. You build your video library, your match library for Tony Khan streaming in the future, and you will not grow your audience. You're just not going to do it. You're not going to do it. The ratings just showed you that again. 899,000 for AEW Dynamite. I don't know how much worse you guys want it to get. Do you want it to go literally to 850, which is the beginning of your niche? If you drop out of 8, if you get 840, you're not even in your niche anymore. 849,000, you're no longer in your niche. You just lost your fucking top spear niche audience. And we keep acting like nothing's wrong in AEW. That's okay. 1 million is just an imaginary number anyway. And then they can't even hit 900,000 on a specially themed Wednesday event like last night. Fight of Champions or whatever the fuck it was called. It's okay. At least they're in the 800,000. And then what? It's okay. At least they're in the 700s. And then the same shit that you made fun of NXT about, oh, they can't get out of the 600s or 700s tops. You're going to be right the fuck there. That's the second biggest company in North America for wrestling. Meanwhile, we're over here trying to help. Oh, don't listen to them. They don't know what they're talking about. What, because we want some more storylines? You know, I want to be able to watch Wednesday nights too. Give me an opportunity. Give me a reason to watch. I don't need more fucking good matches, bro. I can play in traffic and have a better time. I can pick up a bad fucking hobby like smoking and have a better time. I can throw bologna at the wall. See if it sticks, I'd have a better time. Monday Night Raws have been not much better, by the way. This past week was actually a decent show, finally. I didn't want to fall asleep. I didn't feel like I needed to fall asleep. I got some shit I was interested in. Beth Phoenix and Edge looking like they're in their prime. Cody Rhodes and Paul Heyman with a fucking promo of a lifetime. Brock Lesnar unannounced shows up. Lita returns during a big cage match main event. I had a lot of good shit, actually. I didn't mind that Monday Night Raw. Kudos. Let's keep up that momentum. Now can Tony Khan give us something? AEW Dynamite was specially themed last night, and they pulled 899,000. You don't need BC's fucking opinion or my facts to tell you what happened. You want to know what happened? People felt they didn't need to tune in, or they tuned in and tuned right the fuck out, because what they were tuning into did not do anything for them. I can't fucking blame them. I don't know what you expect when you're watching Hater versus Bunny. I don't know if your main event is Acclaimed versus Gun Club, Austin and Colt. And Austin and Colt are getting tag titles. I don't know why people would not want to watch. Every week, Bryan Danielson is having a classic match, I'm told. And every week, he is more insignificant than the week before. WWE Yes Movement Bryan Danielson, Daniel Bryan, was way more intriguing than what the fuck I see today, because he puts on good match after good match after good match. There was layers to WWE, Daniel Bryan. Now I just get a good wrestler who can good wrestling matches. He puts together good... Wow, yay. Fuck yay. AEW is filled with 147 good wrestlers. AEW has 147 great wrestlers. 0 storylines. You don't think I want it to get better? You don't think on a Wednesday night, if I have time, I don't want to put that on for 2 hours and rock with AEW? You don't think I want to do that? I can't go through the motions and be fake about it. I can't sit there for 2 hours and say that this show entertains me. I already have 3 hours of Raw to get through. By the time I get to Wednesday, I'm in a comatose state. And now I gotta watch 2 hours of non-stop wrestling. Fuck! Cut it up and give me a story for a second. I'm not even joking. I could watch what Cody and Paul Heyman did. They did a 16-minute promo at the top of hour 3 on Raw. Do you guys realize it was 16 minutes? 16-minute promo. Do you guys realize I could see another 16 minutes of that and I'd be totally fine? You give them a 30-minute segment. What was it? Hour 3. So it was what? Q9 and Q10. You give me Q9 and Q10 of just fucking Cody and Paul, and I don't need 2 fucking back-to-back awesome matches. I just need back-to-back awesome Paul Heyman, Cody Rhodes segments. After do you realize the best part of the Royal Rumble? It was a 4-hour plus show. Do you realize the best part? This isn't just BC's opinion. This was universally said. The best part of the Rumble was what happened after the Rumble. It was a 20-plus minute segment of Sami Zayn turning on Roman and then the beatdown subsequently of Sami. It was over 20 minutes in length, had nothing to do with the actual Rumble, no matches, and it was the best fucking part. Do you want to know video-wise and numbers and statistics and what was renowned as one of the best stories aside from the Bloodline? One of the best. It was called the most intriguing storyline outside of the Bloodline. Do you guys realize it was Bray Wyatt and LA Knight? Recently, it was going into Rumble, and then they had a match at Rumble. You shouldn't be surprised. The things that people want to see the most, stories. They want to care. Give me shit like what we saw after the Rumble with Sami Zayn and Roman. Give me the shit that what we saw Friday night with Sami and Roman in the Bloodline. Give me what we saw with Cody Rhodes and Paul Heyman, LA Knight and Bray. Give me a... But if you think I can just watch 2 hours to watch fucking MJF take on Takeshita, and then immediately after a commercial break, Bryan Danielson versus Roosh, and then immediately after a commercial break, a 6-man tag, and then immediately after a commercial break, Hayter versus Bunny, and then immediately after a commercial break, Acclaimed versus Colt and Austin, and then good night, folks. I'm Tony Schiavone. He's Excalibur, and that's Taz. We'll do it again next week. And after 2 hours, I'm like, what the fuck did we watch? Why tune in next week? So I can see 7 more good matches? $899,000 for AEW with no storylines. $25.88 million. $2.58 million for SmackDown with storylines. This is what I mean. This is what I'm trying to tell you guys. It's not just BC. I don't like opinions. Fuck opinions. I don't give a shit about opinions, bro. I'm come on here when the red light goes on. We talk about facts, man. One show has storylines. The other does not. One show is going backwards. The other is rocking the wrestling world. It's not that hard. Nobody's trashing AEW, right? Why is it every time there's a criticism of AEW, people start crying? AEW is amazing. Enjoy your sports entertainment. We got wrestling. That's what we have too. You can't change the rules of what wrestling is. It's all sports entertainment. It's just what's being done correctly and what's not. SmackDown has the recipe down, for the most part. Nobody's trashing AEW. We're trying to get it better so that we can all view it. Do you understand that a massive chunk of the audience cannot even view Dynamite because it's just not viewable, it's not watchable, it's not enjoyable to so many? Just like Raw. I thought Raw was decent this week. And they pulled a 1.8. I was told Monday Night Football is what's doing it, BC. But guess what happened? There's no football this past Monday. Monday Night Football is gone. And they only pulled in an extra 100,000 viewers from what they were pulling in, the 1.5 to 1.7s that they were pulling through Monday Night Football. So Raw's the same way. And that's why I shit on Raw nonstop. Justified. Although this week they put together a decent show with even some good shit. So I wasn't as hard on Raw. I was hoping to do the same with Dynamite. Hear about it and say, all right, now I can fucking go and watch it. Nope, didn't have to do that. Beyond a chore, Jer9. Beyond a chore. My chore for the week is Raw. And if they pull their heads out of their asses, we get a decent to good one like we saw Monday. I'm not giving myself 2 extra fucking chores. There's times I have to do dishes throughout the week and vacuum and shit like that. I'm not going to fucking watch 2 more hours of wrestling with nothing to care about. Nothing to be invested into. Why? Why am I seeing the Bunny versus Hayter? Why? What does it lead to? Why am I seeing Colt and Austin take the titles from the Acclaim? Why? What does it lead to? Do I have to watch them again so the Acclaim gets the titles back? The fuck am I seeing Roosh and Bryan Danielson versus somebody every fucking week, so it's the same MJF storyline. If you want my title or me, you have to go through all the cronies, all these obstacles. We've seen this the whole 4 years of AEW. Anthony, I appreciate that up in the chat, man. Gold status. Anthony, I appreciate that, man. It's frustrating, you know? It's frustrating. And you really think, you know, they put a coat of paint on this week's Dynamite. They called it Fight Night of Champions, Champion Fight Night, whatever they called it. They put a decked card out that everyone said, wow, this card is like pay-per-view status. I'm not even joking. AEW sent the thing out on their own fucking message board that said, wow, this card is like pay-per-view worthy. And I was like, wow, that says a lot. Because if people believe that Wednesday night's Dynamite was pay-per-view worthy, that says a lot. And it backs up everything BC said. And I'm not shocked that they pulled 899,000 viewers. They couldn't even hit a 900,000. They couldn't even hit 900. 4 years with the talent they have. The talent that sits at home because Tony doesn't know what to do with them. But Dan Garcia's out there in a Wheeler, Utah, and an AR Fox, and Colton Austin. And House of Black is twiddling their fucking thumbs at home. No, it is unacceptable to pull at $8.99 with the talent that he has and the TV contract that he has, 2 hours primetime every Wednesday night. It is unacceptable. This is incredible. I have not seen that in the longest time. This doesn't happen. SmackDown started with 2.38 mil, and when it ended, they were 200,000 plus viewers more. They were over 2.5 mil. You rarely see that. That is how captivating the bloodline and Sami Zayn is right now. That tells you everything you fucking need to know. I appreciate those truth bombs up in the chat, guys. Gold team, I see you guys, man. Jer9, Ty Drew, Eric, Kevin Johnson, Sabres News Consolidated, Renee, Sir Charles, I appreciate that, man. I really do. It's good to know that the unit understands where I'm coming from. We're trying to help, and if they don't want to listen, they're going to keep going backwards. It's the best I can tell them. But SmackDown is absolutely rocking it. So that's the ratings talk. That's where I'm going to keep it now. 125 on the ups and more. Let's go to 150 on that. Red team, even though this is members only in the chat, red team, show up, show out, man. Rock out. Red team, smash that up. Thousands that are going to catch this later, make sure you smash it too. Just because you don't catch this live doesn't mean you're off the hook. Much love and respect to the red team as well. Now, what I want to talk to, man, that's everything. That's what my feelings on MJF and his promo, and everybody cried about it, and I just don't see what I don't see the connection with Jay Briscoe, and them boys are my boys. I didn't mind it. I think the bigger problem, the bigger question, is that this was just character development for MJF. It doesn't really do anything for Bryan Danielson. Danielson is still there fucking fighting everybody just so he can get to MJF, and we're supposed to call that a storyline. So that's my thoughts on MJF. I'm not going to keep going on that. That's my thoughts on AEW's horrendous fucking rating of 899,000. And that's my thoughts on an incredible SmackDown rating. I just can't, again, it's not just the overall number, but it's the fact that they reached their peak at the end of the show. That never happens, man. 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. You sat through 2 hours of wrestling, and more people came in. That is how captivating Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn is right now, the whole bloodline. So fucking huge, guys. And I'm talking fucking massive. Chat, you know what we got to do now? We got to talk Kana Asuka. That's right. I call her Kana Asuka because Asuka is still her name because Vince knows there's value in that and he doesn't want to let that value go. He thinks there's a lot of stock in the name Asuka and he doesn't want to take the chance of changing it over to Kana, which, by the way, is a host of her own real name, but that's another story. So he's going to keep her as Asuka, but this is absolutely the Kana character, and this is only the start of it. I think she's really going to bring back many more elements. Guys, if you're going to do this, don't half-ass it. Do it the right way. I've been saying this, right? In the last couple of streams. You've already brought her back now as Kana Asuka. She just looked pretty fucking dominant for the most part against Chelsea Green on Monday. Okay, there was a moment where she was down so Chelsea could fucking talk shit to everybody, and it did look pretty stupid. But the second she got back up, it was badass Kana again. So, she's in the ring as Bianca says, best of luck to whoever wins. I'll be waiting for you at Mania. It's Asuka who's in the middle. Now you see, middle of the ring, everybody else is surrounding. If you guys look at the poster for Elimination Chamber, and I believe I put it as my thumbnail as well, you're going to notice that Kana Asuka is in the middle. So the way she's been booked since coming back a couple of weeks ago, the way she's marketed so far, it's as if they're actually giving her the push that she should have gotten years ago when she got to the main roster, and Vince fucked it all up for the Charlie Flair agenda. It looks like we're finally getting to the point where this company understands there is a hell of a lot more in Kana Asuka and what she has to offer than what they've allowed her and what she's produced. You know, for a lot of fans, they probably look at Asuka now and they go, it reached its climax. There's not really much of a connection. The broken English and the not being able to cut the type of promo that you really need to is going to hinder her. And I feel that she's just getting older now, in her 40s. And I think it's done, right? She's just going to be one of those good B players. I honestly believe, because of the way she's booked, that there's people that think of Asuka that way. They have no fucking idea that this is still the same Kana Asuka when she got to the fucking main roster, or same Asuka when she got to the main roster, now with a more diabolical badass vibe to it. But she is not that far from her prime. Trust me, I review these shows vividly, with a keen eye. I dissect them better than anybody. There's no fucking way that she's that far removed from what she was 4 years ago. So, no, she's not past her prime. No, this is not a fucking time where you go, oh, maybe we should think of a newer wrestler, right? Let's give a new wrestler a big push, a big statement. That doesn't fucking work. We've seen that happen so many times, and it falls to the wayside because it's too early. You want to create a superstar and then full throttle them into a big moment, at a big match, at a big event. But first, the big part of that equation is building the superstar. You don't build them by having them show up out of nowhere and have a big fucking match. Not even the 1-2-3 kid who was known as X-Pac. You guys remember he beat Razor Ramon one day. Well, that wasn't even his first rodeo. 1-2-3 Kid was a jobber before that. Time after time after time, he was in that ring, losing all the time. And then he got that miraculous victory, and then it was off to the races with a good storyline, by the way, with Razor Ramon, Scott Hall. No, Raquel Rodriguez should be going to Mania and winning a championship when most of the audience doesn't even care about Raquel still. Smiling Raquel. But because Vince McMahon loves her, that is the biggest obstacle I see right now for Kana Asuka. Because we all know, anybody with a working dome piece knows that this is Kana Asuka's time. This is her time. The match sits in their lap. Bianca Belair versus Kana. This is the fucking match for Mania. And she's being booked as a heel, even though a lot of us love Asuka, Kana. If you look at the 6-woman tag coming up for Monday night, Kana is on the heel side with Carmella and Nikki Cross taking on Natty, Raquel, and Liv Morgan. So you're already booking her as a heel. Bianca's the ultimate face over on Monday, and now they collide. And we all know Bianca's title reign does come to an end at Mania. But do it the right way. Let's really catapult the woman that did everything that Vince asked her to do, even when it made her look stupid. Like when she had to hold the hand of Charlotte Flair while she was champion. Asuka was the Raw champion, and she had to hold the hand of Charlie when she came back because Vince knew Charlie was going to get booed, and he needed Charlie to get that rub from Asuka. So Asuka couldn't even defend her championship. And before Charlie got back, Asuka had to hold the hand of Lana to help give her a rub. The only title defense I remember from that reign with Asuka was against Alexa Bliss. I don't even know why I remember that match. I think that was on a random Monday Night Raw. But she said, okay, she put her head down and she busted her ass and she worked. She did what she was told. At what point does she get what she's earned? What she now deserves? The big moment on the big stage, the same moment that you took from her at Mania, ended the streak and ended any viable situation she could be in going forward because you helped to ruin her from that day on. So now Vince gets to make that amends. So this is what I mean about next Saturday night. You see, guys, this is going to be massive. We're all going to find out just how much pull Triple H truly has in WWE. Next Saturday night, we all collectively are going to find out who is actually running creative in WWE. We're going to find out. Asuka, Kana is Paul Levesque's choice. That is clear. Raquel Rodriguez is clearly VKM's choice. We know this. She was getting that push when Vince was still in the power. Raquel was the one that Vince handpicked. Raquel, you got to remember back to NXT, guys. Raquel was never one of Vince's gals. Of course, or Triple H, I should say. Triple H loved them all, supposedly. But there were some that he was gladly ready to hand over to Vince. Austin Theory was a Vince McMahon person. Lacey Evans, a Vince McMahon girl. Raquel, a Vince McMahon girl. That's why to this day you still see them getting the push. Austin Theory was never a Paul Levesque guy. Brought him to NXT and then easily handed him over to Vince. When it didn't work, Vince said, you got to take him back. H was like, fuck. A couple months later, H was like, do you want him back? Sent back to the main roster. Theory was never a guy that H was actually high on. Lacey Evans, H was never high on. Raquel, in between. These were Vince McMahon people. Until this day, they're getting massive pushes. So we're going to find out Saturday. We're going to find out next Saturday who wins. If it's Raquel, you know damn well that's a Vince McMahon decision. I cannot believe that Paul Levesque would look at not just Asuka, but this new reformed Kana. Knowing how she's been booked. Middle of that thumbnail because she's the middle of the poster. Middle of the ring last week. This past Monday, when Bianca was cutting her promo, she was the only female middle of the ring while everybody else was around. Knowing the way she's booked, and you show up next Saturday night to the Elimination Chamber, and you have Raquel win the chamber and go to WrestleMania to take on Bianca, you know that's a Vince McMahon decision. There's no way I can believe Paul Levesque would look at Kana and go, we're going to have you put on a good performance. We're going to have Raquel take the title at Mania. But maybe we'll put you in a storyline or something. We could do something with Kana, maybe. No, I don't see it. This is H's time. You want to say correct Vince's wrongs. It's something I hear all the time, but I've yet to see Vince's wrongs corrected. Not on a big scale, anyway. Well, this would be on a big scale. You want to really correct VKM's wrongs? Do what should have been done years ago in that match with Charlie Flair. Have Asuka Kana walk out, the winner. Hoist up a championship on the biggest, the grandest stage of them all. Then, 3H's, you will have shown BC and so many others that you got your balls from Stephanie's purse. I'm sure Randy Orton would be glad to hear such. I know most of us would. It would show us, Triple H, that you are indeed in control. But if next Saturday night goes off the air, Elimination Chamber, and it's Raquel Rodriguez who wins that match, that will tell you everything you need to know. Vince McMahon made that choice, and he is nowhere near removed from creative. We all find out next Saturday. The choice is simple. It's not about who we like and who we don't want to win. It's not about what we think should be done and what we think would be better. The fact is that Kana just came back. Asuka just came back with the Kana persona. And you do not have her walk out of Elimination Chamber a fucking loser. One step away from the championship at Mania. It's her time, guys. You may not like to hear that. You might not even be a fan of Asuka. It's her time. This is it. The match itself is going to sell itself. Bianca versus Kana Asuka. Better than Bianca versus smiling Raquel. Two fucking faces, by the way. And what? Are they going to shake hands when Raquel gets the title? Come on, man. Build up Raquel. Let people like BC and so many others give a fuck about her. And then in the future, put her in the big matches. If you think Raquel showing up to a fucking a big Mania match and winning a championship is going to get people like BC on board with her, no. It's going to do the opposite. I'm going to feel that forced agenda from a mile away. Or should I say from a whole nother coast. all the way from Los Angeles. You do not have to force any characters. Build them up, no doubt. The young up-and-coming superstars, build them up without a question. No question. Build them up. But don't force them. Raquel walking away in 2 months with a fucking title over Bianca, over Kana Asuka, is straight bullshit. We all know that. This is her time, guys. And that had to be the bulk of this live stream, members only live stream. That had to be the bulk conversation, because I really want you guys to know how important this decision is and what it truly means for not just the wrestlers, but for fans and everybody alike. For everybody wondering, how much control creatively does Vince really have? Does he really have zero? Does he have a little bit? Is he making some decisions? Does H stand up for his wrestlers like Kana Asuka, or does he fall to Vince McMahon still to this day? We're going to find out a lot from that one decision. Look at the way 3H's Paul Levesque booked Kana Asuka. Asuka, all right, we won't even call her Kana at that time. Asuka in NXT. Look at the way he booked her. Look at the way she is now since she returned. Now tell me she walks away as a loser at Elimination Chamber, and I tell you that Vince is still pulling strings. I'll let H do little things here until we get to the big decisions, and then I'm going to make the decisions. That's what I see Vince doing. I saw it at the Royal Rumble several times as well. You guys probably didn't notice it. This is big. This is big. It's not shade to Raquel at all, by the way. I hope she has a great career, and I really hope that people like BC really care about her going forward. That's why I hope that this goes off correctly, so that we can enjoy Raquel's work. We can enjoy her booking. But this, it's all about timing in pro wrestling, guys. This is Kana's time. It's long overdue, but the chips have fallen pretty damn perfectly. Through a botch, by the way, a booking botch. They wanted to put Rhea with Charlie, which is totally stupid because Rhea is a part of what should be a dominating heel faction in Judgment Day. But Charlie will continue to get more and more booed as the weeks go on toward Mania, which means Rhea's going to be more cheered. So when she wins the title, she'll get some cheers, but she's a part of Judgment Day, which is, again, supposed to be a diabolical heel faction. It doesn't work. Rhea versus Bianca would have worked perfectly. But they botched it. So, okay, here we go. This is one of those scenarios where through a botch, through the adversity, through the negative, we can find a massive positive. And let's put Kana Asuka into that positive. All right, that's it. Unit. Salute. That was a wild hour. We did a lot of ranting, raving, screaming, yelling, getting amplified, staying amplified. I'm going to stick with you guys for a second, too, man. We're going to go over some supers. I know that came in. But to all my members, man, this was a treat for you. I wanted to put up a video earlier. I just didn't get a chance. So I was just going to wait until tomorrow. And I was like, you know what? No, I got a half an hour to an hour. Let's do something special for my members. Everybody that shows that monthly support to the channel, throwing BC a coffee on a month-to-month basis, man, that's never needed. But it's always appreciated. So to those people, I said, you know what? Let's give some amplification right back. Show that respect right back. So to everybody in the chat right now, you're all gold members. I don't know if you saw that in the headline, members only, but you're all gold. So every single one of you, man, I'm scrolling through the entire chat. Every single one of you, all those names, man. Very special thank you from BC. And if you're not a gold member, man, my red unit, my red team, go! You guys, man, salute to you. There's no ostracizing here. My red team is the foundation of the unit. So you guys take the time to smash that up. I want to give you guys a special shout out and much love and a salute. I just want you to know that the gold team, this is just a special treat for them. Yes, thank you guys, man. Anthony, I appreciate that, man. But seriously, thank you, my gold status. You guys, man, are just another level of support that just is astounding. And you really, you make it 175. Fuck yeah, let's get that to 200 on the ups, man. You guys make these things just so much fun, man. That's why I said, let's wait till tomorrow. And I'm like, nah, fuck that. Let's go live, put the fucking gold unit up in here, and let's get amplified. Let's get fucking amplified. Yeah. All right, now that we're scaring people away. Beasley is scary. He's a scary man. Damn right I am. Motherfucker. Hold on. Let me get up my super chats here on the bigger screen if you don't mind. Hold on, guys. Hey, does anybody have Rampage's numbers? I know Dynamite only pulled 899, unfortunately. What was Rampage's numbers, guys? Sir Charles. BC scares grown adults, bro. I make grown adults cry. As they should. I got massive muscles. What was Rampage, guys? 401. No way. Is that a typo, JR9? Did they really pull in 401, or is that supposed to say 491? No way. JR9, tell me that's a typo. Eric Leno, Sir Charles, Jack Brewer, Kevin Johnston. Somebody tell me, WWE, AEW, Marvel fan. Somebody tell me that's a typo. Santivia Major, I don't know. I'm about to ask that question if I find out they're at a 400,000 even almost. That needs to be taken off. Yeah, thank you, Jer9. Double check that if you don't mind. I wouldn't doubt that they're in the 400s, though. Rampage is in a world of shit. Dynamite is their A show, and they're in the 800s. 800,000s this week for a themed show, Fight Night of Champions Galore, or whatever the fuck. Oh, man. They pulled, 899,000, so... JR9, the official number for Rampage was 406,000? They're 6,000 away from the 300s. Wow, bro. Tony Khan's talking about getting a huge media rights deal. That deal might not come with a Rampage option, let me just tell you. Wow, man. I shouldn't be shocked. Their A show is only in the 800,000s for viewership. Their niche audience is going backwards. Obviously, Rampage is going to pull less than half of that, and I guess that would be less than half. Wow, guys. 406,000 viewers for Rampage. That's fucking sad. You never want to see that. I don't know if there's any hope for a Friday night 10 o'clock slot, to be honest, but then again, bullshit, right? BC will call bullshit on himself on that. Q8 on SmackDown. They pulled in over 200,000 more viewers than the start of SmackDown. They went all the way up to almost a 2.6 Friday night near 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. So you're telling me there's not an audience? Bullshit. 2.6 stuck around at 10 o'clock on Friday. So how did they pull in barely 400? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's almost 1/7 of WWE's audience. Only 1/7 stuck around? Might as well, James Miller. I don't understand what he's doing with the show, but I guess if you got no control over your A show Dynamite and they're losing viewers and they're now in the 800,000s, I guess you're really off track with Rampage, your B show. Eric Leno, thank you, bro. Gold status. All right, let me go over some supers, guys. Shoot the shit with you guys a little bit more, man. Let me see where we started. Ash Stegels started us, and I know that for a fact. Ash Stegels was like the first person up in this bitch. I sat down 2 minutes before we went live, and Ash Stegels was like, "Where is everybody?" I was like, Ash, relax. Aaron Rodgers, RELAX, relax. I only give about 20 minutes of notice, and people file in late. Most people catch it later, you know that. The algorithm doesn't even kick in until we're done being live. So whoever gets to catch it live is always a bonus anyway. But Ash Steggles, I saw that, man, when you fucking popped in. You definitely popped BC, man. That was a definite LOL moment. Ash Steggles says, I hope to high heavens Triple L becomes Triple H again and goes to bat for Kana and has her win the Elimination Chamber match. Otherwise, it's another L for the King of Lame. Ash Steggles! I'm going to take you one further, bro. This is not just another L for Triple H if Kana does not walk away the winner next Saturday night. This is one of, if not the biggest L of his time running WWE. His time in WWE, period. As a kiss ass to Vince, as a talent, or as the new head of creative, or whatever title he wants to be given. If Kana doesn't walk away, Asuka doesn't walk away the winner next Saturday night, this will be his biggest botch. Right there with Austin Theory cashing in on a Monday Night Raw during a U.S. Championship Open Challenge and failing. And then his excuse the next week saying, I didn't think I was going to beat Roman Reigns, so I try. And then a couple months later, he says he's joining the Rumble so he can have a shot at Roman Reigns. It doesn't make sense. You just said you don't want to take on Roman. That's why you squandered your money in the bank. Now, all of a sudden, you want another chance to win something that you have to take on Roman. Nobody thought about how stupid Austin Theory has looked since this whole Money in the Bank botch debacle. BC knew. This would be right up there if Kana is to walk away next week without that W. So, Ash Steggles, my point is, you are massively more correct than you even thought. Because that's not just an L. That would be the biggest fucking L. And he would be capital Triple L. Because that would be lame. That would be lackluster. And that would be straight loser status. Fleck Guapo, 2-spot. Triple H better not fumble this shit at the pay-per-view. Fleck Guapo, you are 1,000,000,000% correct. Triple H better not fumble this shit at the pay-per-view. This is his call. Fleck Guapo, I don't know if you're still up in the chat, but this is his, man. If it's Raquel, then that's a Vince McMahon decision, and Triple H did not stand up for fucking Kana. But basically, what's he supposed to do, man? I mean, it's Vince's company still. Exactly what Vince put him in control of. He's supposed to be the head guy. He knows damn well Kana should win this thing, Asuka, just like we know. This is where you stand up. This is the hill that you flatline on. Because nobody else is, guys. I love Liv Morgan. You guys know that. A lot of you guys turned your back. Not you guys, but a lot of the wrestling world turned their backs on Liv Morgan. Fuck that. I rock with Liv Morgan. But this is not Liv Morgan's match to win next week. Liv Morgan's not going to take on Bianca in one of the fucking ladies' main events for Mania. It's not happening. Nor should it. And I love Liv Morgan, but that should not happen. Natty's only in there because they're in fucking Montreal or Canada somewhere. So that's the reason Natty's in there. Carmella's in there just because she came back and they knew they had nothing for her. They didn't want to get fucking creative, or they were like, fuck, Carmella's back and we forgot. Let's put her into the fucking Elimination Chamber. It's not going to be Carmella. Nikki Cross, even as the new crazy Nikki once again, is just another filler woman. It's unfortunate to say because I miss the old school Nikki Cross. It's good to see this Nikki Cross back, but there's no care. There hasn't been since she came back. Or as this new Nikki Cross. Do you think she's just going to fucking show up at the chamber and win this match? Do you think that versus Nikki versus Bianca's the match that's going to get everybody to the edge of their seat? No. It's going to come down to two ladies. And it's going to come down to who's got their fucking balls out on display. Vince McMahon is going to go for Raquel. Triple H is going to go for Kana Asuka. And who is going to win? VKM or HHH? And we just hope he's not walking away LLL. Lame, lackluster, fucking loser. I hope not. Exactly, JR9. There is no fucking option because it's sitting in their lap. But this is what Vince will do. Vince sees Raquel, and Vince will make it a point. I'm telling you guys, I know how this works. He will fucking make sure that H knows. Hey, however you get there, that's you. You're head of creative, yada yada. Make sure Raquel wins. That's it. Do you honestly think Vince does not have the matches he wants for Mania? Do you really think he doesn't have his finger on WrestleMania? Do you think he's just letting Paul Levesque make all the fucking matches? No. You don't know how Vince is, man. He doesn't move like that. Doesn't move like that at all. Ash Steggles, 179. It's about bloody time they showed up. My gold members? Ash Steggles said you guys were late. No, man, they weren't late. I only give 20 minutes of notice before I go live. I'm pretty sure I'm the only fucking creator that only gives 20 minutes of notice before he goes live. I'm sure that frustrates many people too, because they find out later and they're like, damn, BC, I didn't get to catch you live. Especially other members that weren't able to catch live. But that's why I always say to stay subscribed and notified, and that's your best chance. Yeah. But yeah, we always have later, everybody usually compiles while we're live. A lot of people can't stay. Sometimes I'm live for 2, 3, 4 hours at a time. So a lot of people come in and out. I totally get it. But Ash Steggles, man, as long as everyone knows that a stream was put up and that it's there for everybody, that's all I can ask for. That's all I can ask for. It doesn't matter to me when they do. I would hope that it's live, but the tube doesn't make it like that. So the algorithm kicks in after we're live. And I've become kind of used to that. So I always look at the hundreds that are here live during the bulk of the fucking stream, and I say those are the lucky chosen ones. They got to know when we were fucking live. Ash Steggles, man. I appreciate it, man. Kevin MD was up in here, man. Is up in here. 5-spot coffee. What up, guy? What up, Kevin MD? Members only. Kevin, good to see you up in here, dude. Hopefully everything is good and you are rocking amp status. Jay Banks, 199. No, I don't apologize. Episode just for old time's sake. Oh, the old school, man. Yeah, the tube didn't like the tube didn't like the 2.0 character in general, Jay Banks. Found that out pretty quick. And so 2.0. Yeah, no more 2.0. I will say this, though, Jay Banks. There'll be a no, I don't apologize, all right, if fucking Kana Asuka doesn't walk away next Saturday with a fucking W. And if Kana Asuka's not going to WrestleMania, there's going to be a no, I don't apologize. There's going to be a fucking BC 5.0 on the Richter scale. BC 5.0 is going to be up in this bitch. A. Merrick, 5-spot. I see that emoji. A. Merrick catching a live gold member stream. That is fucking awesome. A. Merrick, good to see you up in here. Salute. Jared Kelly is also up in here. 5-spot. I can fucking speak. If Raquel wins at Elimination Chamber, there you go, I'm done. It has to be Kana / Asuka. Jared Kelly, I'm with you. I'm probably not done. I have a lot more reviews and a lot of people that enjoy the content, so I'll keep rocking, but I will not be fucking happy. I will not be satisfied with that decision, and we will rock the house down. We will absolutely go full throttle on these motherfuckers if Kana Asuka does not take that W next week. Jared Kelly, Silver Black 31 with a 5-spot coffee says, sup, BC? At this point, I'd rather have South Park's episode of the WWE where they did all stories instead of AEW's bangers. I'm bangered out. We don't even use that word anymore, Silver Black 31, that B word. That's out because I'm so fucking tired of it. So yeah, anything. Listen, I don't watch South Park. I never watched a full episode. But at this point, I literally would find that more entertaining than having to sit through 2 hours of a fucking match fest like Dynamite has been. And their own tried and true diehard audience is now turning their backs on it. They didn't even get out of the 800,000s this week. Their own tried and true said, you know what? This show is actually not worth my time. This show is boring. I'm going to just go watch the MTV challenge. I'm going to go watch TLC. Little People, Big World. I'm going to go rewatch the presidential State of the Union from a night before. I mean, that's when you know it's really bad. But South by put on the fucking Teletubbies. Put on a fucking episode of Pokemon. It wouldn't matter. It's not entertaining anymore. And Tony Khan has to wake up. I mean, his B show, JR9, just broke out a 406,000 viewership for Friday Night Rampage. I mean, come on, guys, what are we doing? 300,000 soon? Guys, you could put on an episode of Law and Order SVU that was filmed 10 years ago, and they'll pull 250, and you can spend a lot less money, and the advertisers will still be there. You're giving the channel, you're giving them no reason to want to put that on the air and lose money. Because that's what you're doing. You're losing money. If a show is 300 some odd thousand in viewership, you're giving them 75 grand to put on the show, and then you're hoping advertisers flock to it. I don't see, man. But Silver Black 31, I completely agree, man. Kevin MD, 5-Spot Coffee. Again, Kevin MD says, yeah, wrestlers need to work on telling stories and cooking up promos. There's a reason why we love Edge. The dude can do it all. Never mind the wrestling. He talks. Kevin MD, full throttle, man, especially as he got older and he got that big neck injury. And he still gets the biggest pop out of everybody that comes through the curtain to this fucking day. He still has fans intrigued, either on the edge of their seat or fucking standing up live in attendance. He keeps us captivated at home or wherever you're watching. Still to this day. It's not because he wrestles all the time. Most of the time Edge is out there, he's not wrestling. Kevin MD hit it right on the fucking head. Hit the nail right on the head. They know how to fucking talk and make us care through the story that is being told. No question. Edge is fucking amazing. WWE AEW Marvel fan, 5-Spot Coffee, says Asuka should clean sweep the chamber like Shayna Baszler did. Have her beat Belair at Mania? I wouldn't be shocked, though, if it's Raquel Rodriguez. I would not be shocked as well. I'd be disappointed in 3 H's. I would be disappointed that we were all bullshitted too. And at any snap of a finger, it's Vince's decision because that's the only way Raquel wins it. I am telling you guys, 3 H's is not going to pick Raquel over Kana Asuka. I know how he feels about Kana Asuka. I know how he felt about Raquel. Worlds apart. But I also know how Vince viewed Asuka. I know how Vince loves Raquel. So, yeah, Asuka, clean sweep. Count me, I would fucking love it. But Vince is going to get his way one way or the other. Raquel's going to look so fucking dominant. But yeah, clean sweep, rock fucking Belair. Where is the Asuka that took the world of women's wrestling by storm during that undefeated streak? What was her days undefeated, guys? Somebody in the chat, please. Tell me the days that Asuka was undefeated, please. Back in NXT and when she got to the main roster. Please give me the fucking days. You guys will be astonished by this. I'm on a delay, but hold on. We're almost at 200 up in the ups too, man. Let's smash 200. Let's get going to 3. $914 days. JR9, Ash Steggles, Ty Drew, Santivia. 914 days. And that's confirmed, right? That's not what we're thinking, right? Before I keep going, that is a confirmed number. 3 fucking years nearly. Clutch City fan, that's what I'm talking about, bro. Smash that up. We just went over 200 live. Let's take that to 3 on a members only, too, man. My red team is stepping up big time, too. That's what that's telling me. Red team! Just because you ain't up in the chat, I know my red team's rocking out as well. And Santivia confirmed. 914 days. Now, how many years are in a years? How many days are in a fucking year? 365, correct? So that's nearly fucking 3 years. 730 would be 2 years. 2.5 years? It's fucking up there. Well over. I'm talking undefeated, guys. Undefeated. Paul Levesque may be stupid in a lot of things. He's not a fucking idiot when it comes to Asuka and her talent and what she's worth and what she could and should be. He knows damn well that Saturday night, the 18th of February, when Kana steps in that ring, son of a bitch, she's got to walk out with the W. Or this is a botch of epic proportions. 2.5 years. 2.5 years. And now she's back with that attitude. The Kana persona and character is here, guys. It's what we've been waiting for. The reset button has actually been pushed. And I'm not talking about some silly reset like Austin Theory supposedly went through, where all he really did was he put down the fucking cell phone and he still throws the same temper tantrum. He's still egotistical and he still runs away from everybody. No, this is a real reset. A real new, re-identified Kana, Asuka. And if you're gonna do it, don't half-ass it. Wake up, get up, and get amplified. Triple H. This is a big, can you tell? Can you tell BC is gonna be rocking this decision big time, man. I just know WWE and I know how Vince works, man, and I know he wants to go Raquel. And it's not even shade to Raquel. This is not her fucking time. This is not how you try to build up Raquel. Smiling Raquel in a face versus face WrestleMania match with Bianca after defeating Kana Asuka at Elimination Chamber. It's not the way to go, bro. Anyway, WWE AEW Marvel fan. No doubt. If they have her sweep the chamber, I will not be upset. I'll probably give that a great. 2 fucking goods in the good, the bad, and the ugly. When we do that review, I'll probably give it a fucking great. WWE AEW Marvel fan with a 2 spot as well. Asuka has a losing streak at WrestleMania, by the way. 0-4. Thank you for that, WWE AEW Marvel fan. 914-day undefeated. That's how 3H's booked Kana Asuka. Asuka, we won't even say Kana at the time. Asuka, 914 days. The second she got under Vince McMahon, she lost 4 Manias in a row. And that's acceptable? That's acceptable? The same dude that refused to give the best female wrestler in the world, Sasha Banks, her fucking WrestleMania moment and hoist up a championship at Mania. The same motherfucker took a talent like Asuka, who has a 914-day undefeated streak, fed her to Charlie Flair, ending the streak and ending the fucking symbolicness of fucking Asuka, ending the prestige of Asuka just for the Charlie agenda, and then over the next several years, continued to dog her out. This is why I say now is the time for 3H's to find his balls, dig them out of Stephanie's purse, reattach them by any means necessary, however he needs to do such, and start utilizing some fucking power and force over VKM. Because Vince McMahon will snap his finger. He will tell H to jump and H will say how high. This is everything next Saturday night with Kana Asuka. Thank you for that, WWE AEW Marvel fan. I forgot to even mention that she is 0-4 at Mania. Richie P, by the way, man. Richie P with a late super. A 20 spot. 5 Starbuckses, 6 Dunkins, a bunch of coffees thrown over to the channel by Richie P in that 20 spot. I caught that, man. Salute. Before I even read that, let me give a salute over to Richie P, who's also a gold card member, by the way. So, big time, Richie P. I appreciate you, man. Richie P, man, showing up big time. I get the notification 2 seconds after you're live. See what I mean? Richie P is talking about how the tube just is all over the place with the notifications. Most people get it after we're off the air, and Richie P is saying the same thing. I get the notification 2 seconds after you were live. And that's when the algorithm kicks in for some reason. So that's why I always say, when we're live, Like, whoever's here live, you guys are the lucky ones because you actually found BC during a live stream. You know, you got notified or you happened to check at the right time, because the majority of the unit has to catch it later, because that's just how the tube kicks in its algorithm. Not much I can say about that, man. I wish it was different, just like you guys. But that's what they do. That's why I always say, man, to my unit that's going to catch this after we were live, you guys get the same respect. Just because you didn't get to catch BC actually while we were live doesn't make you any less of a fucking unit member or any less as a part of this unit. You guys still have to do your due diligence as unit members. You got to pay your unit dues. You got to smash that up. You got to show that love and respect, and you got to know that it's coming right back to you. So, Richie P. Of course they do, Sir Charles. Of course they do. They know who the bad guy is, bro. The controversial BC. They know, bro. I drop too much facts and too much truth. They don't like it. Fuck them. Richie P, I appreciate that. Prime Killer, 5 Spot Coffee. The fucking coffee. You know it, Jer9. You know it. Greater symbol over YouTube. Prime Killer says, if TK gets the new TV deal, there should be a clause on the contract that they better get minimum 1.2 mil consistently by year 3 or face cancellation. I think that would be pretty accurate. The thing with TBS TNT is that on Wednesday night, there's not that much competition, period. I mean, the top shows are usually like an NBA game, maybe baseball when it's around. MTV Challenge pulls roughly 600,000 viewers, but they do pretty good in the 18 to 49 demo. That's usually top 3 with AEW, and they pull about a 0.31 to a 0.39 usually. So even though they're not pulling a good viewership, on their Wednesday night slot, they're actually not bad. So I have no doubt that they're going to get a new TV deal, and that's good for them. But to see them so stagnant, to see them not growing and even going backwards most weeks, like again this week into the 800,000s of viewership, to see Dynamite that way, it's sad, man, because they should be doing better. But they're doing enough to get the new deal. I don't think they're going to put a 1.2 clause over them, but I hope TBS and TNT knows exactly what Tony Khan knows and what all of us know. They should bare minimum be pulling in a 1.2. And they're not even close. And this week, they tragically went into the 800,000s. Can't make that shit up. JR9 Gaming. 5 Spot says, I was in a great mood seeing JC get her epic moment, so I skipped Trashamite. Trashamite. No Dynamite, JR9. As I wasn't bringing my mood down at 1 to 3 a.m. Of course, where JR is, over in Scotland. Yeah, that would be, wow, man, 1 to 3 a.m. Haven't watched it in a month. Jared9, I'm going to be on that same schedule with you, man. It's been this was the first week where I literally no. I don't want to fucking, I just don't have the patience for it. I have a lot of other work to do, and I don't want to start falling asleep. So, Jared9, you're exactly right. And Jared9, you spoke about JC, and I spoke about that in yesterday's video. A lot of people that didn't like the turn JC onto Gigi on Ding Dong Hello on NXT because it was too Heartbreak Kid, Marty Jannetty-esque. It was just rinse and repeat, no creativity. I don't know what you got. What did you want? Hit her with a chair, take out her kneecap, hit her in the back? We've seen everything. This was homage to HBK. This shows that JC knows her history, was a fan of HBK, knew she was turning on her friend, and said, I'm going to kick it old school. I thought it was epic. You know, when you see this shit on Dynamite and Dax Harwood is paying homage to Bret Hart by half of his matches, doing all of Bret Hart's moves that he used to do by sequence definition, and we all fucking loved it. The one time in NXT talent does it, everybody cries. Oh, wow, they copied Sean. She didn't copy shit. She rocked it old school, and I fucking loved it. I immediately knew what was going on, and she did it beautifully. And when she didn't go through the door, when Gigi didn't go through the fucking door, Did you see the velocity that JC kicked her in the face and sent her through the door? Fucking beautiful. Give JC the flowers, guys. Give Gigi the flowers for selling that shit. Gigi's got to be just fine after that. If they book her correctly going forward. I don't know what the future has, but she was fine in that. She took that like a fucking champ the way she was supposed to. Gain some fucking, gain a little bit of care from your audience. Right? Gain a little bit of care from your audience. Make them care. Man, it's the same thing we said about Sami Zayn and the Bloodline, right? The beating is going to be so emotional, right? We're going to be so invested when Sami gets his ass whooped, and we were. I'm not saying ass whooped is on the same level, but make them care, you know? When you see somebody get turned by their own fucking team, it's that fucking brutal. That kick to the face. First the super kick, then getting thrown to the door, and then the kick to the face just because the door didn't break originally. Yeah, you feel bad for him. It's a sentimental moment, right? Get that sentimental moments from that emotion from your audience. Yeah, Jared 9, that kick was fucking nasty, bro. I think she was supposed to go through. Didn't. So then JC's like, all right, I'm laying into you. And Gigi's like, all right, bitch. And she didn't. And Gigi's like, what the fuck? Yeah, bro. So yeah, I love that. Jared 9, man. I'm so happy I caught that. That's because of you, Jared 9, actually, man. Once you guys told me that Bayley was going to be holding that, I wanted to see what they were going to do. Are they integrating Bayley back in? Is JC going to have something with Bayley going on? Is that going to be the official turn on him? Which really kicked into high gear, really, at Vengeance from what I saw. Vengeance Day. But, so I caught that because you guys made a big deal out of it, and I was not disappointed. They ended the show that way. So I fucking, felt something special was coming when that segment was announced. Yeah, and you told BC, and BC was like, wait, when I heard it, I said, okay, that actually might be something. And they played it beautifully. I love the homage. It was not copying, it was homage. Fuck copying, man. This was legit. I mean, the barbershop window situation, that segment, is still one of my favorite in wrestling history, and I've watched over 3 decades plus. To see it in a different way like this on NXT with the ladies, it was just fucking beautiful. Anyway, I can't speak enough highly praise about that. Jared 9, no fucking question, man. Also, Colin's up in here with a 199. Colin, what up, man? Salute. TK fans, this company needs storylines. Yes? To AEW diehards, man, we with you. We want to watch every Wednesday. We want to help bump up the ratings. We want to show up live and be enthusiastic. We're just asking that you meet us halfway with it, man. You know, let Tony Khan know that he needs storylines. If you love all of these great matches, that's awesome. But you're going backwards in the ratings. Fans are turning away. We've seen too many great match after great match after great match after great match with no fucking care. We need stories. We want a show to feel like a television show, like an entertainment show still. It's pre-rehearsed. It's pre-planned. It's fucking... It's choreographed. It's a television show. I hope I'm not fucking bursting bubbles with that, right? If I tell you Santa Claus isn't real, are you going to cry? If I tell you the Easter Bunny isn't real, are you going to cry? If I tell you that these are not real competition battles, are you really going to cry? Are you really tuning in to see how wrestler A and B, who really is the best wrestler? This is not why you fell in love with wrestling. Unreal. Ratings tell you everything. AEW just went massively backwards this week into the 800,000s. SmackDown went up with their best storyline. From the beginning of the show to the end, they went up to almost 2.6 million viewers because everybody waited 2 hours to see Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn in the Bloodline storyline. That's what a storyline will do with your show. Do you know what happens when you have no storylines? Do you know what happens when you end your show with Colt and Austin Gunn taking titles from the Acclaimed? You go backwards. and you lose thousands of viewers. That's not big. This is what the fuck. This is what the numbers say, guys. This is. I just don't understand why people get so upset at the actual facts. Because that's all they are. Fucking facts. One sec, guys. I know I had another super too. I got to get back onto the main screen if you do not mind. All right, so we have WWE AEW Marvel fan 5-spot coffee. There you go. My big screen turned into a extra small screen for a second there. WWE AEW Marvel fan. I'm all in for JC versus Gigi at Stand and Deliver. It shouldn't be on an NXT episode. And I think it would be JR9, right? They haven't declared anything on that. She just got her head. So that would be Stand and Deliver, I would think. Hold on. Just confirm that for me, JR9, if you don't mind. I know it's not confirmed, but I believe that is going to be Stand and Deliver, right? Yeah, probably, yeah. Yeah, so yeah. Who was that? WWE, AEW, Marvel fan. I completely agree. No. That story is too good now. There's no way you just parade that out there for a pop of a rating. But you never know. I mean, that's where wrestling is these days, too, where these companies are just trying to pop ratings left and right, and they go into these premium events or pay-per-views, and they don't give a fuck. It's all about the next TV deal, all right? That's where the money is today. They don't understand the pay-per-views are the big, captivating events for the fans. You make them extra special, or the shows are going to suffer, and it would all be for nothing anyway. You can't blow your load on just the shows, man. And I think they've already started to feel that. Yeah, JR9. Yeah, she's got to sell that. I saw something, JR9. It was like, I don't know if it was a video picture, but she was already like black and blue under her eyes and shit. So I don't know if that was a photo from the past or right after, but I did see that circulate, and I was like, damn, she got punted. Yeah, JR9. Yeah, but fucking, I was like, okay, that was a fucking kick. Photo from the next day, yeah. All right, guys. Wow, I wanted to go a half an hour latest. We're going toward an hour and 45 again. This is what we always do, but we get amplified, man. The unit starts to file in. We get amped. The coffee's flowing. We get into good conversation. And before you know it, a half an hour is an hour is an hour and a half becomes 2 hours, and here we the fuck are. And this was a members only, man. This was literally only supposed to be about 45 minutes tops. But should have known. I am late now. I have several things I have to do tonight, and guess what? That just got fucking royally changed up. So now I'm pushed back, man. We're gonna go to I'm just pushed back. So what I'm gonna do now is end the stream by saying much love and respect to every single one of my gold team members, man, and that is every single one of you in the chat. I can actually say that this time, because it's members only. So every single one of you guys in the chat. I won't do a full roll call because I said this would be about a half an hour to an hour, and we're already going to 1:45. But what I do want to do is everybody up in that chat, man, from Renee G to Ash Steggles, Sir Charles, James Shrimp Fajitas, JR9 Gaming, Jack Brewer, Carlos Ray, Big Nang was up in here, Santivia Major. Who else was up in here, man? Ty Drew up in here. Eric Leno. I did get Santivia Major, correct? Pile Driver Finisher was up in here. Gold status. Alicia Vukovic was up in here. Angel Alega. Angel was up in here as well. Okay. Silver Black 31, Clutch City Fan was up in here. A lot of gold members, man. On 20 minutes of notice, you guys came up big. Dave Mealy was up in this bitch too, by the way. Dave Mealy, Richie P was up in here. Robert Hart, WWE AEW Marvel fan, Trina Scott. Who else was up in here? James Miller. Badass. Kevin Johnston Sabres News Consolidated was also up in here. D-Car-A. DJ is a Prodigy was up in this bitch. I got Eric Leno correct. Woo! And I'm sure there was many other too, man, at the first hour of this as well. Anthony Boley was up in here. I got Pile Driver Finisher. Dante Jaron 23 was up in this bitch. Man, absolutely epic, man. That was all the fucking gold members just in here live. And to all the gold members that'll catch this afterwards as well, much love and respect. All the red team that was tuning in the whole time, that just wasn't in the chat, my red team. Salute to you guys. Thank you for smashing that up, showing that love and support. We will be right back. Oh, the entire unit will be back together in the very next live stream. I assure you, this was just a special treat for all my members that show that extra layer of love over to the channel. This was a treat for them. But to my entire unit, I appreciate it. What a fucking stream this was. And I know it's because we all came together for that. Carlos, thank you, dude. You know that. Renee G, right back to you. Sir Charles, thank you. Ash Steggles 179 says, I started the chaos, only fitting that I end it. I love it. However, Ash Steggles, I love that, dude. It is funny because when I sat down 2 minutes before we went live, I saw Ash Steggles up in here with a fucking, it was like a 10-spot fucking super chat. I was like, oh, Ash Steggles starting us off with a fucking, an amplified way, in an amplified way. However, Ash Steggles, you're not ending it because Big Nang is going to end this bitch. Big Nang came in at the last second with a 10-spot, couple of coffees over to the Ant-Man. And Big Nang says, if the fans can get D. Bryan into their WrestleMania main event twice, let's do it for Zayn this year. Have Reigns pull a double duty like his cousin Yokozuna back-to-back WrestleManias. Hashtag Sami Zayn for Universal Champion. Big Nang, I'm down. You know, I feel it just has to be Cody and Roman, at least one of the nights, which is good. It looks like it's going to happen. And then there's a second night. And I absolutely feel that Roman should be having a second match. Night 1 and Night 2 of Mania should end with a Roman Reigns match. And honestly, guys, he can lose both and he will be just fine. It's all about how you do it. And he will save face. And then he can come back the very next night as a more diabolical heel, more ruthless, and more on a mission. Roman will be just fine. And if it's fucking Sami Zayn and he's winning a fucking title, Big Nang, I'll probably give that a great, maybe 2 greats, 4 fucking goods in the column of good during the good, the bad, and the ugly review. But Big Nang, I'll add in, you put like 5, 6 fucking exclamation points. I'll put in a fucking 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th if they want to rock that. But it's all on how they book Cody and Roman as well. One hand has to wash the other in this scenario. Big Nang, salute. Ash Steggles, I was actually wrong anyway. Big Nang actually didn't end it anyway. It's Jimmy Fingers 19, one of my fucking tried and trues up in this bitch. Jimmy Fingers 19 is going to end this bitch the right way. Jimmy Fingers 19, first of all, I got to give you a salute. Good to see you up in here, man. And the 2019, man, 6 Starbucks, 5 fucking Dunkins being thrown at the channel. Bunch of coffees being thrown over to the channel by Jimmy Fingers 19. Salute, bro. Good way to end this stream. And Jimmy Fingers 19 says, with Guns as tag champs, the tag titles are now irrelevant like the TNT title. That's 2 out of the 3 major titles, unless Guns need to stay on Dark for 2 more years, with Action Andretti and those types taking up prime TV time. Jimmy Fingers 19, if I could agree with you more, man, it would be impossible. I absolutely agree with with Colt and Austin winning these tag titles. It makes 0 sense. There's no justification. I don't care if we found out Bowens has an injury that's going to take him out for 6 months. The Gun Club winning this match on Dynamite last night is absolutely stupidly atrocious. We all know that. Even AEW diehard fans are not defending this. They can't. They were even saying the same thing. Mind-boggling. It's dumb, it's idiotic, it's stupid to the highest of levels, to the most amplified of measures. And here we are now with the fucking Gun Club. And that's going to put asses in seats. Not just that, but put people at the edge of their seat. No, I see a game of hot potato where it's going to go right the fuck back probably to the Acclaimed. This is absolutely stupid. And you say it's just as irrelevant as the TNT title. I have to remind myself who's the fucking champion. I have to remind myself, is it Wardlow? Is it Samoa Joe? Is it Darby Allin? No, I believe Samoa Joe got it back, but Wardlow came back and now he wants it back. I don't even know what the fuck they're doing. Tony Khan cannot botch Wardlow any worse than he already has. I guess House of Black and many others come to mind of being botched worse. FTR is the worst fucking... FTR should have been one of the most immaculate AEW Dynamite tag teams in this company's history, on that show's history, and they can't even get a tag team match on Dynamite most of the time. I don't know what this guy's doing with his fucking talent. His fucking TNT title cannot become any more fucking irrelevant. You might as well call it the 24/7 title at this point, because you can pass it around, you can end it with roll-up after roll-up, and it won't even matter anymore. You can throw it in the trash, and I will forget about it anyway. Anyway, Jimmy Fingers 19. Can you tell I completely fucking agree? Salute, Jimmy Fingers 19. You guys are getting me all amped up at the end of the fucking stream. Now we're over an hour and 45 minutes and we're going to 2 hours. And that didn't even end it, by the way. DJ is a prodigy is going to end this bitch with a $1.99 coffee thrown at the channel saying TNT belt just got changed last week. Now tag titles. I forgot all about that. DJ is a prodigy. Joe just got it back last week, correct? So the title changes hands on fucking TV last week with only 900,000 viewers watching. This week the tag titles change hands in the main event with only 800 and some odd thousand watching. What's next? Let's have the world title change hands next week with 700,000 watching. Why stop? Fuck the pay-per-view. Woo! All right, this is a good time for BC to down the rest of this. I've been nursing this for the stream. Now I got to go double fist some fresh coffees down at the local Starbucks and Dunkin'. I'm going to get a nice vanilla latte, maybe a pistachio latte in my left hand. In my right, I'm going to get a nice large Dunkin' extra, and we going to rock that shit. We're going to beat the shit out of Thursday night, and we going to rock this world. Amp Unit, top guy, I'm out. BC saying thank you, man. Peace. Gold members, salute, man. What a stream. Honestly, I said a half an hour to an hour because I meant it. We're going to 2 hours because we are fucking incredible. We the ones. They all the twos. There's no other way to put it, man. We are just the ones. Fuck them all. They the twos. Hey. Salute. Gold team, go! Check you guys, man. What an incredible stream. We're going to do this maybe again tomorrow. Who the fuck knows? We're going to bring in the whole red team, and we all going to rock out maybe before SmackDown. I don't know when. Stay subscribed and notified, and you'll know. Check you guys. Salute. Look at that shit. 200,000 viewers more than the start of the show. SmackDown crushed it. Unreal. Unreal.